Hey there guys, this is Blight coming at you today with a Pokemon trading card game online video. I'm starting my channel as a Pokemon channel because I've recently discovered how great of a TCG Pokemon is. I played competitive Magic for years and have been very disappointed with the game recently, and have since moved on to Pokemon. Pokemon is an excellent game and I've really enjoyed it. If you are new to the game, you should check out Pokemon.com for more details on the game. This channel will be dedicated to competitive Pokemon games and tournaments in the future. I currently have the Mega Mewtwo EX deck, and this is my list. As you can see, I'm running one Shaman EX for the ability setup. If anyone is familiar with the game, they'll know that Shaman's kind of a crazy good card. I'm running Hoopa EX for its ability. Its ability to find 3 Pokemon EX from your deck is a little insane, especially when you can just find 2 of the Pokemon you need, as well as a Shaman, possibly the Mega Mewtwo. You'll see in a lot of my games in the future, when I play Hoopa, I'm going to find some amount of Mewtwo, Shaman, and Mega Mewtwo, depending on the turn, and it'll really shift the tide of the game. Hoopa is incredible, definitely necessary as at least a one-of in a lot of your Psychic decks. So the other Pokemon I have is the regular Mewtwo. I believe this one's from Evolutions, it is. This is in the deck for when you play against Carving decks or Butterfree decks. Any deck that you can't readily attack with your EX Pokemon, the ability Psychic does something. It's not that great, but it deals damage, it's in your colors, it has high HP, it justifies its spot. The Mewtwo I have chosen for this deck is the Shatter Shot Mewtwo. This one is just great. Damage change will win you a lot of games that you're not expecting. When you're playing against the Cardbank decks and you don't have a regular Mewtwo out, damage change will basically make you invincible the entire time. There's not enough I can say about damage change. It allows you to be a tank deck while still being the high damage deck that you already are. The Mega that I chose is I believe this is the Y version of Mewtwo, not sure. But this is the Psychic Infinity one. It's one of the highest damaging skills that you can do reliably. This attack does 10 plus 30 for each energy on both active Pokemon, so a lot of times you fill this up with energy, your opponent has energy for any of their Pokemon, and you're dealing tons of damage. There will be a lot of times where I actively try to ramp this card as much as I can, just so I can one-shot things regardless of their energy on their Pokemon. Once you get to the 5 to 6 energy range, you're basically one-shotting everything, save a few Megas, but you're always doing tons of damage. Once you start including your opponent's Pokemon's energy, maybe you'll only need 2 or 3 and you'll be one-shotting them. So this card is excellent. Can't say anything more about it. It's exactly what you want to be doing. I'm playing Max Elixirs, hopefully charge something up like another Mewtwo on the bench. Mega Turbos for the ramp that I was talking about. Super Rod because we're playing 11 energy, and if something dies, it's going to be hard later in the game to find energy, so the Super Rod's kind of there to make sure we don't get stuck on energy at some point. Switch is a card that has won me a lot of games. There are times where your opponent Lysanders you or something and hopes to stall you on Hoopa or Shaman because you can't readily bring them back. Well, Switch just turns the tide of battle immediately. Then you have the obvious ones like Trainer's Mail, Ultra Ball, Versus Seeker. These are necessary in very many decks. Lysander for the blowouts, especially when you're playing against like Carving decks and stuff like that. N, obviously Draw. Pokemon Center Lady in case they try to put some sort of effect on your Pokemon, or both Pokemon are damaged so you can't damage change. Pokemon Center Lady will help you out a lot of times there. Sycamore, obvious reasons. Shrine of Memories, so you can use damage change while you're in the Mega Evolution. Damage change while you're in Mega makes you super tanky. You have 210 base HP, plus you can readily heal yourself with a damage change. excellent. Shrine of Memories is not necessarily necessary in the deck, but it definitely makes you a lot tankier, and I think it makes the deck a lot better. Spirit Links, obvious. I don't know very many decks that don't use as many DCEs as they can. I'm sure there are a few, but this deck is definitely a DCE deck when we have the high retreat costs and all of our important Pokemon use double colorless. So everything is covered there. And then, of course, our Psychic Energy that's necessary. So now I will take you through one game of ladder with this list, and hopefully you can get a better idea of how the game plays out, how the deck plays out, and hopefully you decide you really like my channel and you'll like and subscribe. I'll be putting out a lot of videos and I really appreciate you watching. Thanks a bunch. Alright, we are here for our first game of the Mega Mewtwo EX deck. We are about to draw our opening hand as soon as our opponent loads the game. Now the best we can hope for with this deck is to have an opener with Mewtwo EX and a draw support. And most of the time I like to choose heads because I like to Mega Evolve as soon as I can, assuming I win the coin flip, of course. So our opener has the Mewtwo EX that we need, and it has Hoopa EX. This is an excellent starting hand. The only thing we're missing is a draw supporter, but hopefully Shaman can help us with that, assuming she's not in the prize cards. So we're not playing Hoopa on the bench right away because his ability won't trigger. So we're going to play him on the first turn. So we're going to play our Hoopa now. Get 3 Pokemon EX. We're going to get a Shaman and 2 Mewtwo's. We don't want the Mega because it's going to clog up the hand for the Mewtwo, for the Shaman. So we're going to play our 2 Mewtwo's out. Let's see. Giratina's protection from Megas, so we're going to want to get as much Psychic Energy as we can so we can try to kill it without Mega Evolving. So I'm going to use Ultra Ball, discard this Ultra Ball, and discard the Mega Turbo because I'm not planning on Mega Evolving right now. I'm going to take a regular Mewtwo, just so we have another option against Giratina. Play the regular Mewtwo, play Shaman, draw 6, draw up to 6. Alright, we got a Sycamore, we got our energy. We basically have everything we need now. So I don't want him to be able to use that ability, so I'm going to Escape Rope. I probably should have done this before the Shaman, but we're going to Escape Rope for this Mewtwo EX, and then we're going to play that there, leave that like that, and do I want a Sycamore? We're not going to Sycamore because we can't really do much right now. We might next turn if we don't get a Mewtwo Spirit Link or another energy, but we really want to kill this Giratina as fast as we can. Alright, he plays End, so that's great. This hand wasn't looking too good anyways. I didn't want to discard both of my Mega Mewtwo's. Alright, we got our Shrine of Memories, we got a switch, we got another energy, we got basically everything we need. So we're probably going to end up discarding Sycamore, which isn't great. We're going to play the Shrine of Memories. We're going to play the Psychic Energy, even though we know we're going to Professor Sycamore, because we're only going to be dealing damage with Shatter Shot. We're not going to be Mega Evolving. I don't really care to use any of these, so I'm just going to Sycamore right now. Alright, we got all the energy we need. This is excellent. We got an Escape Rope, we got Lysander, we got everything. So we have the Mega, but we don't have a Spirit Link, so I think at this point we just Shatter Shot. Next turn, we still won't be able to kill Giratina. We'll bring it down to 20 HP left. but at least we'll have gotten it out of the way, which is a really big deal. He's going to try and get rid of our Shrine of Memories with that Remoraid. I don't know what else he plans to do with it. The Talonflame is really scary, so I'm glad we got it off at the beginning. Alright, he got rid of our energy, our Shrine anyways. So we're going to discard Escape Rope. Escape Rope. DCE and one of you. Because once we put this extra energy on here, we're going to be good for everything, so it doesn't actually matter. I'm keeping the Lysander because if he plays something that we can't deal with later, we'll be able to use it to bring something out, kill that Pokemon, and then Versus Seeker it back. So we get another Versus Seeker. If we wanted to, we could use a Sycamore, but we're not going to. Man, I think this turn is just Energy Shatter Shot. There's not really much else we can do. We could kill the Remoraid, but that would allow him to bring out his Talonflame, so we're just going to play this energy and Shatter Shot. We're trying to keep Talonflame off as much as we can because his ability, Aero Blitz, is very strong. A double Demonic Tutor that deals 40 damage. If you play Magic, you know what I'm talking about. So really don't want that. So he's got his Octillery. Octillery's great, but he has to play down his cards. Lysander. Alright, he pulled out our Hoopa. This is what I was talking about earlier in the video, where they try and pull out your Hoopa to block you from doing anything. So at this point I wish I had the Escape Rope because he had the Lysander, but not much we can do. Right here, let's try to use the Max Elixir. Let's grab this energy. We are going to put it on, let's see, put it on this Mewtwo, I guess. His Octillery has a retreat of 2. I think here we Lysander the Octillery out so we can stop his draw later, and we are going to save our Versus Seekers to pick up a Sycamore next turn unless we get a different draw supporter like an N or another Sycamore. And yeah, I think we just Mega Evolve this one and wait until the next turn. Alright. I don't know if there's much he can do. The only thing I can really do next turn, well, the best case scenario next turn is if we draw a switch, so then we can just switch out our Pokemon and we don't have to worry about anything. Alright, he used the Sycamore, so he's definitely not going to be using his Octillery. If we don't draw switch, hopefully we draw DCE so we can return the Hoopa. Alright, Forest of Giant Plants. I really have no idea what this deck is doing. Gloom. It's going to evolve right away because of the Forest of Giant Plants. Draws 2 cards. I'm really hoping for a switch next turn. I only have 1 in the deck, but that would practically win us the game on the spot, because he's not going to be able to kill my Mewtwo EX anytime soon. How much damage does Giratina do? She does 100. Your opponent can't play any Pokemon Tool Special Energy Stadiums during his or next turn. Okay. Gotcha. Ooh, yes, Shaman 2. Back up to 6 cards. He's having an excellent turn. Town map, great. Let's see what he's got in the prize cards. Team Flare, that's annoying, and Sycamore, Wally, Fighting Fury, gotcha. Alright, now he's going to go Demonic Tutor for his cards. This is not great for me. His Giratina's almost dead, however. So even if I were to Mega Evolve the Mewtwo EX with 3 energy on it, I can one-shot the Talonflame and then still have another, basically any other card to deal with the other ones. Alright, so we got a Mega Turbo. We'll beef this one up with that energy. Alright, we'll use our Versus Seeker on Sycamore. Use Sycamore. Alright, we got a Mewtwo Spirit Link. We didn't get a DCE, so that kind of sucks. We'll put our Mewtwo Spirit Link here. We only have one more basic energy in the deck, and in all honesty, it's probably in the prize cards. So putting the basic energy on Hoopa isn't really going to do us anything. So we're going to put it on. I'm going to put it on this Mewtwo, and we're going to pass the turn without Mega Evolving, because we don't want him to know this one's available to Mega Evolve, and even if we get End or something, it doesn't really matter because we're going to end up getting the Mega Mewtwo anyways. New Stadium. Faded Town. Yeah, 2 damage on Mega Evolution. That's not great for us. So we're really going to have to end next turn and hope for another Stadium. There's 18 cards in the deck and there's 2 Stadiums left, so really hoping we don't get screwed by RNG here. Once we get the ball rolling, once we get our Mewtwo's back on the field, then the game will probably move very fast, but right now our opponent is getting a little bit lucky that we're stuck on what we're trying to do right now. So he plays his Professor Sycamore, he's back up to 7 cards. He has 13 in the deck. He's going to have to start being mindful of his cards, because if he Arrow Balls this turn, is it a May? It's up to 2 cards, so he doesn't necessarily have to grab any, but I don't think he's going to be playing any more Sycamores this game because he might deck himself. Alright, his Giratina's full. We have this Mewtwo with 1 energy on it, and the Giratina is at 20 life. So even if he brings out that Giratina when I Mega Evolve this, I'll still be able to retreat and kill it with this Mewtwo. Alright, we're waiting for him to resolve his Arrow Blitz. My Mega took 2 damage from the Faded Town. Alright, we have Lysander not doing anything for us. So we know we're going to end right now, so we're just going to Mega Evolve, get that out of the way, because we don't want to shuffle it back into the deck, and then we're going to end. It's going to reduce his hand size down, but he's going to get to see possibly different cards, which isn't necessarily great. So we got the DCE, we got the Shrine, it's really starting to look good. So we're going to play this here, play the Shrine, get rid of that. We're going to play the DCE onto Hoopa and retreat, bring out this Mega, and Psychic Infinity to one-shot Talonflame. Alright, Spirit Link was not a good draw from the prize cards, but we still have N, we still have Sycamore, we have Brock's Grid in case something happens. I'd like to apologize for the deck list. I forgot to save the deck list I had. I had replaced Brock's Grit with a Super Rod because a lot of times you don't want to play a supporter. You'd rather just play a trainer card. So this would normally be Super Rod if it was my updated deck list, but Brock's Grit does the same thing. It's just 2 Super Rods in one, basically. So we got End, shuffled all of our cards back in our deck. We got the Mega Turbo. So, okay. He played his Fighting Fury Belt. We're not going to be able to play anything, any tool, special energy, or stadium next turn. Luckily for us, we don't really have any tools except for the Spirit Links. Special energy is DCE, that's kind of painful, but there's not really much we can do. Because their most likely play next turn is to hope to draw Psychic Energy and then retreat this one out and still one-shot the Giratina. Alright. So can't play Max Elixir, can't play Mega Turbo. We just have to... I think we just end here and really hope for the last Psychic Energy in the deck. Didn't get it. So this is going to be really bad. We're going to lose this Mega Mewtwo. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. I think we retreat this Mega Mewtwo and put out the regular Mewtwo and just call it a turn. The regular Mewtwo will only allow him to draw one prize card when he kills it, and he can't even one-shot it. We really need the last Psychic Energy to put on this Pokemon. So you got rid of our Shrine playing this. So our Steel Pokemon attacks is reduced by 10, which does nothing, and his Dark Pokemon's attacks are increased by 10. So he swapped out for Zoroark, which dealt a ton of damage. Killed our Mewtwo, but now he's got a Zoroark out with 100 HP. We one-shot it with this Mega Mewtwo, so we're going to do that. Alright, so now we can play our DCEs and stuff. So, which should we put it on right now? I think while I can, I'm going to use Brock's Grit, just because I want to put more energy into my deck. So I'm going to put you and you into the deck and call that good. Alright, I can't only do the 3 that I wanted, so I have to put everything back in the deck. So that's done. We're going to put the DCE on... Which one do I want to put it on? So we already one-shot this, so we're going to put it on this one so that one can do what it needs to later. So we one-shot this. It's dead. Grab this one. Pokemon Center Lady, that's fine. Pokemon Center Lady stops this one from getting one-shot if I can help it later. Alright, now it's going to be a challenge because we won't be able to one-shot with the regular Mewtwo anymore. Alright, this turn I think we just have to end even though we're losing cards because we really need anything else. Alright, we got a regular Psychic Energy, that's great. These I have no problem with discarding. So we're going to put the regular Psychic Energy onto the Mewtwo, and we're going to lose our Mega Mewtwo. I'm going to do Psychic Infinity, it's going to do nothing. So this Mewtwo is going to die. But we're going to be able to play our regular Mewtwo next turn, and he will two-shot this Giratina if we have another Psychic Energy from our Sycamore. Alright, regular Mewtwo. No Psychic Energy, so Sycamore. Alright, we got the Psychic Energy. So we're going to play out this Mewtwo, play this Psychic Energy, and Shatter Shot. So we have him to 180, he has 210 health, so we one-shot him no matter what. He took the Team Flare Grunt that he had there, so he's going to remove one of the energies here, but it's still going to be a one-shot. Alright, he's missing one energy from that Giratina. Okay, so we have two Pokemon Center ladies. We have our Lysander over here. If we use Pokemon Center Lady, it brings us down to 50, which means this can't kill it next turn. So we're going to play our Pokemon Center Lady here and kill the Giratina. So that's dead. We get 2 prize cards. Alright, we got the shrine, so we can get rid of this. So with one more energy, he can use its ability, he's got it, but it's still not going to kill this Mewtwo, so that's great. Alright, he has N, that's annoying. We're both getting vastly reduced cards. Alright, I got the Mewtwo and I got the Lysander. This is not as bad as it looks. If we get another energy... We didn't get another energy. If we had another energy, we could have used Damage Change, and that would have won us the game, but we don't have it. So what we can do is we're gonna play Mewtwo because we don't want to draw it back in our deck if one of us ends, and we're gonna play Lysander, bring out the Vileplume because he's not going to be able to retreat it anytime soon, and we're going to Shatter Shot. So to get rid of this, we can play our energy cards, play our item cards. Alright, we got a DCE, excellent. He can't one-shot regular Mewtwo, and regular Mewtwo is going to deal 100 a hit to him, so we're going to put the DCE over here. Had we been able to play that DCE earlier, we would have put it here and used Damage Change, but with a Fighting Fury Belt on this next turn, he'll still one-shot if we Damage Change. So we're going to Shatter Shot. brings it down to 120. He has one card in his deck, so our goal is to just not die, and we win the game, even if we can't pull this out. Alright, we won. He knew he couldn't do it. Excellent. Prize wheel gives us a ticket. Alright guys, that was a very intense game. Thank you for watching my first video, and I hope you liked it and you'll subscribe, and I will be putting out many more videos in the future. I'm looking to build the Gardevoir EX deck right now, the one with the Fairy and Psychic types, so I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.